Okay, thank you. I'm gonna gently tap this morning. It's good morning, everybody. It's February the 3rd. It's about 8:36, I believe. Special meeting, Liberty County Commissioners Court. Let the records show that Commissioner Arthur's here, Commissioner Clark are here, and I'm here. And we do have some business before the court. Therefore, I will get to vote in the absence of Commissioner Karbowski and Commissioner Whitmire. Special agenda today, number one, from Mr. Poston and Ms. McCarty, the County Attorney's Office, consider and approve a letter of intent on behalf of Liberty County Commissioners Court recommending a tax abatement under Chapter 312 of the Texas Tax Code in support of Project Juniper in Liberty County, Texas. Now, I'll give you my layman's terms. Catherine, you can help me out as we go along here, but this is just a letter of intent. It doesn't mean that we're going to give them a tax abatement.
Correct. No, this is not legally binding in any way. If you recall, Project Juniper was here in December, I believe. They gave a little presentation about some industrial development they're considering in Liberty County. They have some other locations that they're also considering. But in order for them to take Liberty County seriously, really, a letter of intent would be helpful to them. I believe at that meeting, that December meeting, the court seemed interested in pursuing this further. So I met with the folks at Project Juniper, or with Project Juniper last week, and they requested this letter of intent stating what a tax abatement under Chapter 312 might look like. And to be competitive, they have asked us to recommend a statutory maximum abatement, which is 100% for 10 years. So that's what the draft says in front of you. So of course, this is up to you guys. If y'all want to send this letter of intent, it would be signed by Judge Knight on behalf of the court, depending upon y'all's vote today. Again, it is not legally binding. You do not have to offer them a tax abatement should this go any further.
Okay. All right.
So I'd like to ask a question that this is
Sure.
this is not we're not setting a precedent with this abatement and the length of the terms.
We've done other 10-year tax abatements. Typically in the past, and Ricky, please help me with this, it's usually 100% for a certain amount of time, and then it will decrease over the 10-year period.
Mm-hmm.
This would be a 100% abatement for all 10 years. And so in answer to your question, yes and no. I don't believe we've ever done a full 100% abatement, at least not during my time, for the entire 10 years.
I believe we did, but I wasn't here either. That was on the pipe company down south.
For Boomerang.
Yeah.
Yes, that was before my time with
Yeah.
the county attorney.
You were just a baby. But if I could address Clark, really what kind of put this in motion was when the group met with us before, and they had a 100% commitment from Jefferson County.
Okay.
We were told that that is our direct competition because of the closeness to pipelines and because of availability of land. I actually met with them after that, just a casual meeting. I don't represent the council, but a lot of times they'll ask, what's the consequence or outcome as a tax consequence? And again, I know they seem very interested. They want to be away from everything. They don't want to be by, civilization too much. They like open land, but they also need to be next to access to a certain pipeline that supplies the natural gas. If they want to convert to hydrogen, that's kind of their whole project, from what I understand. And we are in the front running along with Jefferson County, but we felt like to be at least on the same playing field, that we need to at least be at the 100%. And this is a little unusual, like we said, but usually it's walked down from 80, 20, 60 and having job requirements and all these things. But this thing also will provide high paying jobs, will provide clean energy, will provide water, excess water. So it's a very interesting project for a data center and that kind of stuff. So it's out there. It's supposed to be the first one of this magnitude in the world. So it's kind of cutting edge stuff.
So it's a low carbon manufacturing in the petrochemical industry. Okay.
And during their presentation, they did indicate that this development would provide several jobs, not just one or two, but several, even post-construction. And to reiterate what Mr. Brown said, in my meeting with Project Juniper as well, they indicated that, as I kind of said, we don't typically do 100% tax abatements for this period. We usually stair step it down, and they said, we've got other statutory maximums. We've got letters of intent from other people. So for you to even really reconsider, this is what we need.
And it's also in ag right now. It's an ag exemption, so we're getting very little revenue as far as the tax deal. And so it really has some win-win deals. It's clean. It's somewhat, I guess they consider it green energy. But these data centers, they said a lot of the jobs are going to be security jobs because it's going to be such a high-profile type security situation. That could be some of the permanent jobs as well as the engineering and all the deal. And they build it in modules. And so it's a real interesting concept that it's really just kind of hitting the scene now. And
They're built overseas and then they're shipped here.
Yeah. So it's interesting to see. And I would think the Jefferson County, and I looked at it on the map where it was, and it's about 6 miles south of 90 out in the prairie, so there is roads next to it, there's a bayou next to it, so the pipeline and everything lines up. I kind of pinpointed the 600 acres they were looking at. And I would assume the Jefferson County, I'm just assuming, but if it's in that same locale, it's a lot more populated, a lot more developed, whereas ours is surrounded by at least 30 to 40,000 acres of just open prairie land. So I think we really have a good advantage if we can at least keep up with, the 100%, these kind of things, which is just really the infant stage of where it's going. But
I will assume that Commissioner Karbowski, this is his area, right? Or is this yours, Greg?
No, that's it.
Okay, so it's and he's in support of this as well, just based on any conversations regarding the matter.
Can't speak
Or
for,
you don't know.
I can't speak for him.
Okay.
But this, again,
Yes, but I'm not sure.
again, this is not binding. It's just saying that we're going to play ball.
Pursue it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So what say the court?
I move to approve.
And I'll second.
Got a motion from Greg, a second from Gerald to approve. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. That motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 2 from Mr. Post, Ms. McCarty. Consider and approve updated lease agreement between Liberty County and DL Foster Holdings, LLC for tax office building located at 3210 Highway 90 Liberty 77535. And this is so Mr. Brown doesn't lose his place to live.
Commissioner Karbowski and Mr. Brown have negotiated some additional terms. It really is a very similar lease to what we had previously. I believe in accordance with the terms of the previous lease, rent will go up roughly 10%, which is about from 4,000 to 4,500. And then if the court chooses to renew annually after its initial term, it will go up an additional $500 per
Okay.
year.
So what's the length of this?
It goes from year to year.
It's to renew.
But if we want to terminate the lease, we have to make an affirmative. It will renew automatically. But in a year from now, if Mr. Brown says, hey, this is not working out, or I found a better place, or what have you, we have to follow the termination.
Okay.
Language.
I'm definitely in favor of staying where we are. I mean, I don't like paying rent for something, but I know there's plans to eventually do something on a permanent deal, but we moved out there about almost a little over 5.5 years ago, and it's served our needs well.
And it's on the tax rolls.
Yeah, it's on the tax roll, and we're using it very well, and it's worked out. We had a good test on it last week, and, you know, we finally got some of the little issues that we were dealing with addressed. So I think we're on good terms going forward, and I don't think we have a better option at this point. And it is a 1 year, so I like that idea that if we're in a 1 year look and see if something happens. I don't think we're gonna be changing anything in 1 year, but the way government moves, it's good to have a place to hang out and bring in our $182 million that we collect each year, so.
Put a clarification on that 182 million. That does not all go to the county.
No.
Okay.
That is not you doesn't base it on a percentage of what we
Yeah.
collect out there.
Okay. What say the court?
I'll move. Lease agreement.
You got a motion from Gerald, second from Greg. Further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. That motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 3, for Mr. C, consider and approve order granting discretionary exemption from competitive bidding requirements as set forth by Texas Government Code 262.063 for the purpose of repairing a bridge located on County Road 158 in Liberty County, Texas, to protect the health and safety of the public. And Catherine, this is precinct 1. It's a bridge that school buses go over. I know that Bruce was concerned, and so is the school districts, about anyone riding across this bridge.
That is true. I've spoken with Commissioner Kardowski regarding this bridge. This is something that he's looking to get done as soon as possible. And I believe that WCID, correct me on the number if I'm wrong, number 5 is going to help with the cost. I think they're gonna throw in some money, so I will be working on an interlocal agreement with them for the court's approval in regards to this same bridge issue. This just allows, what you're approving today is just a discretionary exemption based on public health and safety. Normally, we have to go through a particular bidding process under Chapter 262 for any labor or materials or services that would go above the threshold of $50,000. However, the local government code allows certain exemptions. This exemption, again, is for public health and safety. I think that's an easy argument here. An unsafe bridge would be harmful to our constituents, right? So with that said, we have to have an order granting the discretionary exemption. I will say the agenda item says 262.063. Just briefly doing some research on my phone, I'm not sure that is the right statute number, but it is under Chapter 262, the competitive bidding statute of the local government code.
Okay.
And it does require an order. And I believe Harold prepared an order that was included in the packet.
He did.
And the vendor that's supplying this work, he's worked for the county before.
I cannot answer that. That would be a Mr. C question.
But it's on the approved vendor list or whatever. It's
I would assume, but again, I don't want to tell you yes or no without talking to Harold first. He would know that.
I'm pretty sure it is.
okay, but you need this promptly, hence it's part of this special call meeting to expedite it, to be able to
Yes,
allow
sir.
the buses to safely travel it.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And again, this is just an order. Granting the exemption that's required by law. We cannot just say, hey, this is for public health and safety and do it anyway. anyway. You have to vote on it. There has to be an affirmative decision and then a written order.
Move to approve.
Got a motion from Greg, a second from Gerald. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. And that does carry as well. And that brings us to the end of our business for this morning. Got a motion from Greg to adjourn. Second, I'm pretty sure that's from Gerald to adjourn. And all in favor?